In order to have a healthy democracy, a critical component is that people can talk to one another about controversial issues. And what we found is that's not happening. It's not happening in classrooms, and it's not happening out in the general population. So one thing we can do is try to make it happen in classrooms. And what we found is that in order to talk about controversial issues, it's not a natural thing that happens for people, that you actually have to develop the skills in order to do that. So what we did is created a set of lessons that are supported by a methodology called Structured Academic Controversy. It was developed by the Johnson Brothers, professors at the University of Minnesota. We adapted that methodology and linked it to our lessons and put all of that online for teachers to utilize.
In a deliberation, you guys are talking about an issue, whatever, but you're not fighting for it. You're actually being quiet and listening to the other people's opinion.
When doing a deliberation, try not to consider the people who have opposite opinions to be your enemies.
Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own belief.
Usually there's more sides to every story, and you just need to sit down and like think about it.
Don't expect to just be stuck on one opinion. You have to look at all of the opinions throughout the whole deliberation.
Understand the opinion for what it is. Understand that they're not attacking you or attacking your ideals.
And no matter what they think, how different it is from what you think or what you believe, like respect it. You know, you're not gonna make everybody think like you.
If I'm like really like for it or really against it, like it's gonna take me like a lot of reading and trying to understand their point of view.
I kind of separate myself from my own personal opinion and try to see it from the other person's point of view.
You can hear what their, you can listen to their examples and they can listen to yours.
Maybe they can't get out their whole opinion and they're only saying what's at the top of the mind, and we all know that the surface is not everything.
The students really enjoy a deliberation because they get to be heard. And a lot of times when they're talking about controversial topics, either with other friends or with other teachers or at home, they're frequently arguing and they don't feel like they're being heard. But a deliberation allows them to speak freely and for people to listen to them. It's very powerful for them.
To do the deliberation, we're going to follow 10 steps. These 10 steps are called Structured Academic Controversy. And what I want to do is I'm going to explain the 10 steps to you. And actually, what I'm doing right now is already introducing you to the 10 steps. In the 10 steps, what we're going to focus on is what each of these steps are about. And also, in order to do a deliberation, we have some rules here. So let's go ahead and help me read out these rules out loud, please. Do I have a volunteer?
We had to read the material carefully.
Okay. Bridget.
Focus on a deliberation question.
We need to listen carefully to what others are saying.
Check for understanding.
Analyze what others say.
Speak and encourage others to speak.
Refer to reading to support your ideas.
Use relevant background knowledge, including life experiences, in a logical way.
You have to use your heart and mind to express ideas and opinions.
Can somebody help explain what that means, to use your heart and your mind?
When you talk about talking with your mind, you're talking what you see, being realistic, talking logical. And when you say talk with your heart, is what you feel about it, your opinion from the heart.
All right, good.
To remain engaged and respectful with controversy arises.
Focus on ideas, not personality.
Thank you so much. In the introduction part, we went over the rules, and now we're going to talk about the 10 steps. Let me explain the 10 steps to you quickly, and then what we're going to do afterwards, when we go through each step, I'll re-explain in detail what you need to do. But step 2, you actually do the reading. You're going to have about 10 minutes to read. In step 3, in your groups, you're going to identify some interesting or important facts. In step 4, that's when I will introduce the deliberation question to you. In step 5, you will have the opportunity to learn the reasons with a partner. And then in step 6, you and your partner will present your compelling reasons. In step 7, you will have the opportunity to teach back what the other side had presented to you. In step 8, we're going to actually drop all our roles and deliberate the question. In step 9, we're going to have the opportunity to debrief the activities. And this is the opportunity where you really get to tell me what was in your heart and in your mind. Finally, step 10, we're going to do a poll and also reflect. When we do the poll, you guys are going to do something a little different where you're going to stand up to show us how you feel about the question. So these are the 10 steps, and we will complete this today. It's going to take us about probably an hour. Okay guys, are you ready? We're going to go ahead and move to step 2, the reading. You have exactly 10 minutes to read. What I want you to do is highlight, circle, underline anything that's important or stands out to you. And what you're doing right now is just reading as much as you can in these 10 minutes. I promise to be quiet, and you're just going to read. You got 10 minutes. And all the rules that we just went over is on this sheet. Are you guys ready to get started? The 10 minutes is up. I know not everybody's done reading, but that's fine. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is go ahead, stop where you're at, and let's move on to the next step. Okay guys, let's move on to step 3. You're already in groups of 4, so we don't have to rearrange you. Now, what you're going to do is, with the people in your group, you're going to use handout 2. In handout 2, on top where it says review the reading, determine the most important facts or interesting ideas and write them below. Right now, you have the opportunity to speak to the people in your group. Share ideas. What stuck out in the reading? What was interesting? What was important? So go ahead, talk, and write down 3 things. So I can see you guys writing things down.
Well, yeah, but cyberbullying doesn't all just have to be online. They can use part of the internet and then continue the bullying outside, like at school.
What stuck out to me was the United Nations International Covenant and 7-Up.
Once I've seen it being done that my friend, she had her MySpace and then some other girl had her picture on it.
Basically 3 sentences. The one that stood out for me was one that said, cyberbullying based on sexual orientation appears to be quite frequent and has been.
We're done with step 3. Now we gotta move on to step 4.